My heart is so full right now. I feel a lot of love in this room. Ooh, I feel so much I'm gonna cry. Hello, Collective. It's me, Patience, your favorite psychic spirit medium, host of Spirit News on Spotify, where we have dedicated our love and our gratitude and all our messages and our knowledge and our wisdom that we have gathered, our observations that have been given to us by our very own spirit team, the Guild of the Golden Triangle, to help you understand that you are a non physical entity having a human experience. Hello, Misty. Thank you for being here. I am so happy to be here. I am so blessed. I am truly favored and I am truly blessed and I have everything I need right now. And I'm so happy in this moment right now, all the time. I find joy and I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm feeling a little emotional, trying to detach from the emotion because this reading, I wanted to try to do a psychic development connection to connect with a friend who has just passed over. And it's a little sad. And even though I am aware of our non physical energy, there is still grieving that happens when the someone you know and care about has crossed over. There's still grieving. And this happens to be a very complicated situation. Well, I don't want to say complicated, but unfortunately, it is. And thank God, thank you, God. I have so much gratitude to be able to connect. Thank you, Spirit. To connect with energy and to be able to read it and to understand her human perspective from a higher perspective. And I'm not going to use her real name because I want to have respect for her and her family, and I don't want people to go looking her up. So I'm just going to refer to her as Roze. But I knew her when I was in high school, at the end of high school, and she was my neighbor, and we became very good friends. And this was before I had intuition. I've always had like great intuition, but I always had this feeling about her, as I do with many people I encounter. But when you don't understand the art of discernment, which we've made it up 222, oh my gosh, 222 come through. I'll tell you the relevance of that in a moment. Um, Throughout my whole life, any person I have encountered, because of my spirits, sure, because of my psychic gift that I've had since childhood, I could feel things that other people can't when you meet somebody. But because I didn't understand like I do now, that I'm purposely developing my discernment, which we teach you on Spirit News. We have an episode called The Art of Spiritual Discernment. Jay, if you're not going to be nice, I'm going to get you out of here. You can stay and get the heels and the feels if you want, but if you're going to be naughty, I'm going to get you out. Okay? So, the feeling I had was that I didn't understand her actions sometimes. I didn't understand why she would react or act or do the things she did when she was representing something else. And that's often what we encounter as non physical entities having human experiences, but we don't understand. Oh, devote! Thank you. I love you. But we just don't understand that we're what we're interpreting, and so we kind of ignore it. But now looking back, and she happened to come to me in a dream the other night, which is why I'm going to bring her forward because she wants to share what happened to her. She wants to share her perspective, her human perspective, and I really want to be respectful of her life and of her choices because we're all on our own journey, and I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable or disrespect anybody, but she came to me in a dream. Her 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 ceremony, I hate saying funeral, but her passing ceremony was Sunday, and she passed very quickly of stage 4 brain cancer. Very quickly, like maybe within a year of finding out that she had it. And she stated that it started as a neck pain, and she went through chemo and all that. And when I knew her, she was a very different person. In the end, she found Jesus and she became a devout Christian. She got baptized. And I think because she was coming near to death, and I think I'm going to confirm with the cards. I'm using different cards to confirm my psychic intuition and the things that I get. But when I knew her, she was a very different person. And the feelings I got about her was that she was not she was not walking the path that her soul wanted her to walk, which we often all aren't. Okay, it's called the South Node. Not all of us are walking the path that our soul has chosen, and that's okay. And when I would encounter, I was like 17, 18 at the time, and she's like 5 years older than me, I believe. She had kids at a very young age. She had her first kid at 14, and then she had 3 kids by the time she was 18. So, I believe. So she had, she had to grow up fast. She grew up, you know, she didn't mature like the rest. I'm trying to figure out a way to, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rose. I'm calling her Rose. That's not her real name, but I'm just calling her Rose. And the problem, it's not a problem, but the double-edged sword of having intuitive abilities is that every person you encounter, I'm gonna cry. Ooh, I'm gonna cry. Excuse me. Every person you encounter, you can feel and you can see and you can treat people like their higher self. Like I can see the distinct difference of a person's highest potential, limitless potential, and then see the way they're acting or the way that they live their life is completely different. And it can be very upsetting because it's hard to see people not walking in the energy that you know that they can be in. And so it often sets you up. Sorry, I'm crying. And so it often sets you up for to be hurt because not everyone can see what you see, and not everyone understands that version of themselves. They definitely don't see that or act that way. So she was one of these people. So I found myself drawn to her. There's a defecting. She defected. She's supposed to be a part of my soul tribe. And she defected. It's very sad. So what happened was there were and I'm just breaking it, I'm making it into a small, because there's a lot of things, but I'm making it into trying to explain it as best I can shortly. When I knew her, she was doing drugs, she had 3 kids, she was essentially like a pimp or even an escort possibly. And I was 17, 18, and she lived a way faster life than I did. She grew up faster than I did. She grew up, you know, the ski mask way, and so she was all about that money, the grind, get the paper, I got kids to take care of, so she had a different mentality than me. So I get it. I get where she was coming from. And she also had her first child at 14, maybe even 12, I forget, but she didn't have the opportunity to really take care of herself and to focus on herself and to really mature and to find that self love for herself. And so I found that a lot of her actions were very petty, very immature, very just real gangsters. She's a real OG, okay? She's gangster. And there were three, I'm making a long story short, but when I think of Roze, there were three distinct occasions where, because of her drama, because of her toxicity, because of her inability to process her emotions or be mature or not be petty, I almost died three times in her presence. And she almost shot me in the head with a hollow point Ruger. With hollow point bullets and a Ruger gun, I almost lost my life because she almost shot me in the head. It was like this far away from my head. And then another time she tricked me to go on this, to drop her friend off at an escort. Her friend was an escort. She ran an escort service or whatever. And I thought I was just helping out by driving the car, but I almost got kidnapped at that, not knowing what the hell was going on. And then another time, she jumped me with her sister, and she brought her kids over to jump me because of, I don't even know, to this day, I don't even know. Never been jumped in my life. Never even got in a fight at that point. And so when I look back at the time we spent together, there were good times, but overall, the feeling I had that she gave me was not good. But I didn't listen. I chose to continue to pursue a friendship with her because the way she was acting physically on the outside was that she wanted a friendship with me, but there are multiple times where she showed her true colors of how she felt about me. Okay, there was even a time where she was smoking a black and mild in the front seat, and she flicked it, and the cherry burned me right here, and it burned me, it made a scar, and she laughed. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. But I didn't understand discernment like I do now. So fast forward, all these things happen. There's also an ex-boyfriend involved that was somehow under some kind of influence from her that, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to find out because it's still a mystery to this day. I don't know the higher perspective of what happened, but I ended up leaving that toxicity because I have a real natural gift for dropping things that don't serve me. If there's only a certain amount of things I'll take before I say goodbye. If I were a man, my name would be Vinny. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. And so I left. I ended up moving out of town to get away from all those people. It was just the best move to do. I moved with my sister to Massachusetts, and that's fine. And we never talked ever again after that. And we did talk later on, like 10 years later, and we followed each other's social media. But and we did forgive, we had a conversation where we forgave each other. I wasn't really sure like what I was forgiving myself for, or like, but whatever. I'm like, whatever. I'm not trying um to hold grudges for anything. Like, I'm so quick to forgive. I'm so quick to forgive, it's scary. Okay. I'm like, I'd rather forgive than to hold on. And so we were cool. And she would post a lot of you know, what I'm going to say now is pancake. Okay. What I'm going to say now is what I intuitively get, and what will confirm in the cards, because she's crossed over now. So I'm going to speak to her and ask her what happened, like what's going on. But she came to me in a dream, and she was very lusty. She had very lusty energy. She's the kind of person who would post very revealing pictures of herself, lots of selfies, lots of kissy faces, like, lots of that. And what I always got from it, she always presented like a confident person, but what I felt was not a confident person from my intuition. And she came to me, I learned she passed away, and it made me really sad because that thing happens where she's presenting herself like the what she thinks she wants to act like, or what she thinks confidence is. But I can feel that if she were to just be truly confident, it would just look differently than that. And I know that's so hard to it's hard to explain, but it's the energy. She had a lusty energy, like a chaser, chasing attention, chasing validation, chasing um she wanted to feel good about herself, so she would look for it outwardly. And that made me really sad because I know the true potential of her character and her personality and what it could be and what it should have been. And so it makes me really sad, yeah, that she was so uncertain of herself, but acted in a way that she thought made her seem confident. And maybe it did to other people, but I could just tell that that's not confidence. Thank you. And so I asked her when I learned she passed away, I said, if you're in a place of healing, and you're ready to tell me a little something about, what you want me to know. I had a dream about her, and I had a dream about, she showed me all the things that I couldn't see when I was in high school, 17 to 18. And she showed me that she was using magic. She showed me that she's Latina, and she showed me that she was doing spells, that she was getting high and doing spells, even back then. So I think from then until now, she could have possibly been fucking around with magic, and I'm just learning about magic. I don't know nothing about it. Um, and I don't know, just so disclaimer, this will all be allegedly because I'm just doing a psychic read and I'm trying to connect with her. But if she is doing magic and we confirm that with the cards, it could possibly be a reason why she died so quickly from stage 4 cancer within a year. Not to say that everyone who gets cancer is doing magic, but she showed me in a dream that she was doing magic. So I'm just going to say right now some things I'm getting intuitively in visions, because I've been picking up the color purple for her, for Roze. Um, I've been picking up the color purple, like she has a dark purple room or like a dark purple bathroom or something like that. Purple seems to be super heavy in her field around her. Um, I see that she could possibly drink a lot or used to drink a lot. I know when I knew her, she was um, doing a substance that isn't known to be, I mean, not that any substance is, but I know that she was doing substances when I knew her as a teenager, which could have contributed to a lot of her negativity. Um, John. Oh, Spirit just said John. John, don't be naughty. Oh, John, what is that, my sister? That my, I could have some people posing um, as viewers that are actually people who hate me. So whatever. Anyway, so I want to connect with Roze. I've always saw her potential. Oh, Spirit said Jennifer. Could be Jennifer. Um, I will always love you, Roze. I have always loved you. I've always saw your potential. I always saw you as the way that you wanted to be portrayed. I've always treated you that way. And whatever you did, I know that you in the end asked for forgiveness for all those things that you may have done in the past, and I forgive you. I forgave you a long time ago. So I hope that you're healing. I hope that in your life review you get to do a little differently. So let's connect. Holy Divine Spirit, please, I love you so much. Thank you for all my blessings. I'm truly blessed. Thank you. I'm sorry for the long rant, but I just had to give this reading some context. I would love, absolutely love, to connect with Roze. If she is available to come forward, I invite her into my energy field. If she walks in divine light and energy and matches my energy or higher, I would love to have her to get her perspective of her human experience, to understand her. We are here to understand why people do the things they do from a higher perspective, and I am so grateful to be here to be able to do that. So let's do it. Holy Divine Spirit, please, tell me, please tell me. Oh, I'm gonna do my best to not cry because I just feel a lot of emotion. When you are faced with crossing over, I think it makes you realize a lot of things. So when she showed me the dream of her doing magic, I did peruse through her Facebook, and I went way back because she posts every day. She's somebody who's a social media person who is very prevalent on social media, so she posted a lot. And I went all the way back to 2017, and she does have posts of sex magic. She does, and when I saw that, I cried because let me tell you right now that we do not here at Spirit News promote doing any kind of magic. And if she was doing magic enough, Sophia, Spirit said Sophia, if she was doing magic enough, if she was doing it with my friend Sophia back in the day, turning my friends against me, I mean, she almost killed me 3 times. And so now that I'm 41, obviously I can see, because I'm not naive anymore, that she didn't have good intentions for me back then. But I still forgive her. But it could have been because of the magic. And that could be why she passed away so quickly from stage 4 brain cancer in less than a year. Okay, so because she was doing magic. And she showed me that. Uranus, revolution in reverse. Some horrible idea she had. She used technology wrong. She may have thought that she was doing something that would give her freedom, some kind of weird experiment. Choke. Reputation. Roze. She could have been in her masculine energy. 10th house, Uranus revolution in reverse, 10th house reputation, 3rd house perception. Social media, I told you she had a really strong social media. Try not to cry. So Roze, this was an unexpected outcome for her. She did not have an awakening. She was stuck in some kind of energy where she could not have a breakthrough. She couldn't have a breakthrough. She felt stuck. She wanted to change the perception of her reputation, or she wanted to change the perception of someone's reputation, because she was very in her masculine energy. She could have possibly wanted to become like Instagram famous or get some kind of like following on social media. Moon. She did something in secret. She did something in secret. She did something in secret. Uh, she could have had problems with her digestion because of some kind of emotional blockage she was having, because she could have done things, something, some kind of mother wound. She could have a mother wound. She could have had bad habits. Family was very important to her. She was very emotional about her family. She was very concerned about the perception and her reputation when it comes to being a family person. She was somebody who had gut instincts, who possibly had very strong intuitive abilities. She could have had very strong mood swings. Abandoned. She could have a mother wound of abandonment. It just means that her mother could have abandoned her during a traumatic time when she was young, and that caused her to be overly, to seek validation outside of herself, or to be overly concerned about being abandoned. Spirit said connection. She could have possibly had trouble connecting with people on a deep level, or speak. What I know about Roze from my perspective is that she wanted to seem like a boss. She wanted to present herself like she became a madam. She became an escort pimp. She wanted to be perceived as somebody who had power, who had authority, who had, oh my gosh, who gave me a super chat? I didn't even look. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Um, who wanted to be seen as somebody with authority, who has power, who has control, who's a go-getter, who's gangster, who's like, that just that classic OG mentality where you grind, you hustle and grind. She wanted that perception. And there may have been something that interrupted that perception when it comes to her reputation, because she's she's a naturally nurturing, very family oriented, very emotional person. And so those kind of two things don't kind of like mix together. So when you're trying to get fame or fortune, or you want the acclaim, you want to have people look at you like you're, a queen, or like sitting on a throne. But you are contradictory to that when you are a very nurturing person that is very feminine. So it's almost like she was walking more in her masculine energy. She could be a Pisces also. I don't know what sign she is. She could be a Pisces. But she was a natural intuitive, which made her very emotional. So if she's walking in her masculine energy, she could be very angry. She could like go off the handle very easily. She could be very authoritative, very dominating, very controlling, very judgmental, very jealous, very what's that word when you're possessive, very possessive. So, oh, tell me more. Tell me more, please. Which one should I do? Let's do. So tell me, Rose, tell me why you showed me that you're doing magic. She's doing, oh no. Ooh, sex fix. She could have been a sex addict. She could have secretly had a sex addiction, secret lovers, romantic love affairs. She could have been doing scarcity tactics. She could have been doing love spells. Rose, oh my god, you didn't need to do love spells. You're lovable. Ugh. Scarcity tactics are when somebody is in a scarcity mindset and they do things like they're a chaser. Like when she's, well, when you're constantly posting pictures of yourself half naked on social media and you're constantly saying outrageous things on social media and you're posting all your information and like she's an over poster, and so what that it says romantic love affair. I saw on her, because you can go back and look at them. She would post memes about like, I wouldn't steal someone's man who had a nice house or car. I'd steal someone's man who was just in an apartment. It might be a joke, but she's basically saying that she would steal someone's man. Okay, so it's like I know for her she always had a hard time finding love, but it's because she lived in scarcity. She was a chaser. She was very promiscuous, very lusty. She may have thought that she kind of represented that she was very overly sexual, okay? And what I'm learning about that energy is that people who people who want other people to perceive them as very sexual will misinterpret that as confidence. And what it really is a scarcity tactic. It is a chaser mentality. It is pay attention to me. It is I'm saying something outrageous, something sexual, so I can get a certain kind of attention. Okay, and so she may have been she may have been the mistress to many love affairs. Okay, and she may have been doing love spells. She did have a meme on there about brujeria. I don't know if I'm saying that right. About um, it had Drake speaking to Rihanna, and he's like, "Take that brujia or whatever off of me," and she's like, "No," So she could have possibly done love spells to certain men ring to put a ring on it. But you can't do that. You can't do that. And I think that's why she doesn't mind coming a wolf in sheep's clothing. I cannot make it up. She wants us to know that what she did in the dark to get her way, winning a jackpot, because she was looking for unexpected money. She was looking for a way for someone to take care of her. So she would do brujeria, magic, sex spells. She literally has a picture of her altar where it says love, sex, and magic. And she's got her magic sex. She got her lube. She's got her sex books. And she was doing sex magic to put love spells on lovers to try to get them to take care of her. Maybe that's why. But she had a sex addiction, so because she is a thief. I told you she was when I knew her, I don't know if she still does that. When I knew her, she was an escort, but she would get Johns, and Spirit said John, she would get Johns and she would steal their money. And they would, that's why I almost got kidnapped that one time, because that girl stole her friend that I thought I was just dropping off at her friend's house. She said, "Wait outside for me." And I was like, "Okay." And I waited, and then she ran into the car. She's like, "Go, go." This guy runs out, and it's like, and because she stole his money. Okay. So when you, and that's why I started off with, I don't want people to get the wrong idea about her. That was a long time ago, and people can change. But there's kind of like where the two paths cross when you're trying to make a change and when you're still coming out of being that person. And that's where she has passed at, where the two paths cross, where she was starting to realize that this mentality, this scarcity mentality of doing this to people, of being a thief, of this also says dirt digging, somebody who purposely gets people in trouble or tries to get people in weird situations in order, or purposely tries to dig up dirt on people to hold it against them for their own gain, is not exactly the energy you want to give out. And she showed me in the dream that she was doing magic in multiple different ways. One of them was sex magic, and what sex magic can look like, it doesn't have to be a ritual, but it can be purposely baiting men with sex in order to in lusty energy, in order to seduce them to fall in love with you or to keep them. And she has a lot of memes she's like, I am the toxic woman that uses sex to get what I want, and she admits that. And so it's just a toxic trait that is formed when you are insecure, okay? And she wants to share that with us. She wants to share it with us because she wants to break the cycle, maybe for her kids, maybe for her friends and family, maybe for anyone else who resonates with this situation, who's stuck in a karmic cycle of these kinds of behaviors, okay? Because what it does is even if she didn't review, she's doing her life review. Oh, Rose. I told you she was in review. Spirit says when you pass, you go into the truth booth and you review your life and you look over the mistakes you made and you decide what you want to do over, what you want to change. And so she has reviewed and she wants to come through in order to share her perspective of things she did that people weren't aware of that got her to stage 4 brain cancer. She literally passed within a year. Okay. How boring life would have been without Roze. Honestly, Roze was always the life of the party. She really was. She was always laughing, even if she was laughing at people. She was always smiling. She was always take charge. She was always, even though there were some questionable times, she did also get me out of some binds, and she was there for me multiple times when I needed her. So even though she was a little immature, she may have messed with things. Tell me more. I love her and I forgive her for what she did. Kissing ass in reverse. Yeah, she's somebody who would never kiss anybody's ass. If you either love her or you don't, and she really just didn't give a fuck. And that's one thing that really drew me to her, because I was so opposite of that. And so what I thought was confidence, what she was presenting herself as, I could see now that was really just her putting up a wall, some kind of wall. Screenshot, getting evidence, proof, facts. Yeah, she was always somebody. Yeah. I took I took screenshots. I took screenshots of the magic that the picture she posted of her admitting that she was a witch, of her admitting that she has cast love spells, that she does sex magic. I have, she sent me those. She guided me to those because she wanted to share with people. She wanted to share with the world that you don't do magic. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. This person, Roze, my old friend, did she did energy manipulation to a point where it affected her field, and she had brain cancer. So let's think of that energetically. If you're constantly looking at people and coveting your neighbor, which essentially just means comparing yourself to them, if you're constantly saying, F that bitch, who, she happens to be prettier or whatever this person thinks, those are nonstop thoughts, bad thoughts, scarcity tactics. She could have possibly created her own brain cancer just by always being in this energy of lack. But when you're doing energy manipulation to get what you want, to manipulate men to come towards you in that lusty energy, to get them to want to take care of you, what happens, this is why nobody, she couldn't keep a man, because, and I'm not saying that in a rude way, I'm just saying energetically, it's because she was telling the universe that she had to do this to get the man, to want to give to her. And that's a scarcity mindset. Just alone by doing the energy manipulation to get them to be with you, I'm with you. So I said, I'm with you. What you're saying is that you don't have them and that you won't get them unless I do this thing outside of myself. And that's kind of like the trick with magic. It draws you in because the deal is that you'll get something out of it that you want, but energetically, what it's saying without words is that you don't have it. And that's a complete contradiction to being in an abundant mindset. If you want something, let's just say you desire something. If you desire something and you take an action outside of yourself to attain it, to rope it in, Spirit just said rope, you're hanging yourself by a rope, because that act alone of performing that ritual, or of spreading that rumor, or of telling that lie, or of using your body, or receiving money for sexual favors, that is in essence you saying that you don't have what you want, and so therefore you will not be a vibrational match to get what you desire. You'll actually repel what you desire because you keep on taking actions to show that you don't have it. So this is Roze. Oh, I just want to cry. I just want to cry. It's, I absolutely sometimes can't stand being psychic, because it's like, how do you not see the best version of someone? It was like this time at Sephora, there's this young lady who is transitioning into a different gender, and she was like uncomfortable in her skin, and I could feel the uncomfortability, but I could see the potential, and it made me cry very badly and I felt so embarrassed, but I felt so strongly that what the potential soul wants to be in this vessel, and all the things that hold that person back from being authentic. Parades, yeah, they're parading around as what they think is confident, but I can feel that they would just be confident if they stopped doing that. It's just this weird contradiction, and it makes me want to cry, because people don't know how awesome they are, and they pretend to be what they think is awesome, but what they actually are would just be the most awesomest. I don't know if that makes any sense. Things are going to be turned in your favor. People that were against you all of a sudden will be for you. Ideas, creativity, promotion, contract. Oh my God. So remember I told you I have almost lost my life multiple times because of this person? I know. she's admitting to me that just like in my dream, she showed me she had like a picture of my face or something. She was looking at her phone of a picture of me with 90, of a picture of me with my family, and she was jealous. And I'm not saying that to like boast myself. I'm not saying that. But she could have possibly projected spiritual warfare towards me doing this sex magic. And when you walk in that energy, you repel what you desire. You repel it because you can't be happy for someone. You can't be, um, it's just not matching abundant energy. And so things are going to be turned in your favor. People that were against you all of a sudden will be for you. Ideas, creativity, promotion, contracts are going to come into your hands. Over. She showed me in the dream that she could have possibly had some obsession with stopping somebody from being happy because she herself could not have the things that she desired. And she could have possibly with some another woman. She showed me with another person. She could have projected a lot of negativity towards me or someone who has the same energy as me. Um, and it wouldn't have stopped until she passed. And I've been getting a lot of readings about someone passing and something would be over finally. It would only end when this person passed. And I didn't want to think it was her, but then she passed recently and I was like, oh shit. So I'm just trying to find out if it was her. And uh, it's never too late to start over. And Spirit just said over. You have to trust in the magic of new beginnings. They are waiting for you. Notice them, seize them, and appreciate all that you have. Just relax and trust. I don't know why she trusted so much in whatever magic she was doing. There's a reason. Ruined, yeah, it ruined her life. She trusted in some kind of magic she was doing to give her a new beginning, like some kind of like I don't know anything about magic, but what I'm learning through these reads is that there are spells and there are things to take to have like a transference of energy. Okay, so like if Rose was watching somebody who she desired their life, she was jealous of their life, she was perceiving someone as having a good reputation, having a family, whatever, having a lover, all the things that she desired. As far as it passed, if she was perceiving someone like that on social media, there are spells, incantations, or even just thoughts, because a thought is an energy that you can project out. If she was looking at someone saying, I want her life, she doesn't deserve this life, she doesn't, or whatever, she could have done some kind of magic that made her believe that she was going to have a new beginning, that she'd be able to start over, that she'd be able to have something that she trusted was going to come to her. But the focus is in upside down, but she focused on the wrong thing. She didn't focus on what was important to her. She focused on trying to get someone to not have happiness. That's a scarcity tactic. That's not an abundant that's not an abundant mindset. Instead of focusing on what was important to her, she devoted all her time and energy to worrying about somebody else. And this amplified her fears. This amplified the focus on someone else. It amplified what she feared the most, which was to have this person be happy, and it took away from creating her future. That's why she got stage 4 brain cancer and died less than a year because she focused on her main focus was to have somebody else not be happy, for somebody else to not have the things that she desired. She focused on this so much that it amplified the energy of not having those things. So she essentially focused on something that didn't expand her future or create a future for herself because she wasn't focusing on herself. It's like energy is constantly moving and the universe demands expansion. It wants you to create a future. So if you're somebody who's ruminating in thoughts of having someone else not have a future, that is you telling the universe that you don't want a future because you're not focusing on your own future. Okay? Oh, thank you. Hi, Deanna. Thank you for being here. And so she amplified that energy. And what it did was it amplified stage 4 brain cancer. And I'm not saying that every cancer is energetically based, but a lot of dis-ease is. And if you don't understand energy and you're projecting this energy out for years, constantly, obsessively, then you're going to create a distortion in your field. So if she was thinking these thoughts all the time, then stage 4 brain cancer will be the manifestation of those thoughts. Okay? Oh, shoot. And she was messy too. These cards just flew out of my hand. She was messy too. So she could have possibly involved a lot of people, or it could have made her energy like very, I know when you do energy manipulation, you don't, people think you do a spell and it'll change the energy and I'll get what I want. Okay, let's just use this as an example. If you do a money spell, okay? First of all, the act of taking the physical action to do a money spell will be telling the universe that you don't have money, okay? So, when you take the act of doing a money spell, I'm sorry, I was just getting something. I was just getting a download. So when you take the action to outside of yourself to try to manifest, there's a headstone, to manifest something you desire, that's a headstone. That's going to create lack. It's going to mean you don't have it. Okay. So there's an angel. Oh, I love you. So I want you to know from what Rose is trying to say is that she focused on the wrong thing. She had so much going for her. She had so much to focus on, but she chose to focus on somebody who is doing better than her, or who she perceived to be doing better than her, because from a higher perspective, she grew up really fast. She had kids young. She didn't get the education that she wanted. She didn't pursue the things that made her happy. And so she saw somebody who was doing that she knew from her past that she could have possibly reverbed. This person was supposed to be a mirror for her, not for her to covet or compare herself to this person, but for her to be part of the soul tribe, to ask her, what are you doing? How do I do it? How can we work together? But she didn't do that. She saw somebody going into a new chapter of their life and seeing a new way of this person was doing a new way or was seeing things a new way, and this person couldn't see or interpret the way that they did. They didn't see things the same way as this person because they were on two different levels of consciousness. She didn't see it from a higher perspective. Come through. She couldn't interpret with the same understanding that I have, or that whoever that energy was in the dream, and she wasn't able to face how she felt from a higher perspective because she was in a very low vibration. She wasn't capable of perceiving her actions from a higher perspective because she was acting very very satanic. Oh my god. Roze. Spirit just said satanic. She was doing magic and rituals to stop someone's abundance because she didn't feel abundant. She was projecting and she didn't want this person to be in this abundant energy. Okay? She was afraid to say, I love you. She was afraid to say thank you. She couldn't say those things to herself. She was so scared of being embarrassed or appearing sloppy that she had some regret. Rope again. Her inability to. She had a blocked heart chakra, okay? She had a blocked heart chakra because of a mother wound she has about abandonment, about people abandoning her. So she put on this tough facade but she was really an intuitive, nurturing, caring human that couldn't actually be authentic because she was afraid people would abandon her. And so she put on this fake facade where she's a boss, where she's a gangster, where she's, an OG, and she didn't, and being vulnerable embarrassed her. Being vulnerable scared her. And she saw somebody who it walks in that energy she was jealous of, basically. Which I just hate saying that, but it was some kind of competition. Spirit just said race. She thought it was a competition because she's she was viewing somebody else with a higher level of consciousness and understanding as somebody who to compete against, somebody that she had to take down because they would take away attention from her. Okay? It's all adding up. It's all adding up. Oh, she was surprised to see somebody who walked in gratitude, who got everything they wanted, where everything happened for them, where they received everything that they wanted. It didn't add up to her. She didn't understand the favor that this person walked in. She didn't trust the process. She didn't understand how things always go right for you. How no matter what happens, nothing hurts you, nothing affects you. You walk in some kind of divine energy or something, and she was doing magic against you. And she didn't it must have been going back on her because she got cancer. It must have amplified it. All her negative thoughts. All fix. Oh, she tried to fix it. Spirit says she was satanic and she tried to fix it. Oh, she tried to fix it. Oh, she was questioning herself and wondering if she's good enough, if she's strong enough, if she could get what she desires, if she if she was if she could be forgiven. Because she realized she took a leap of faith because she realized that she kept doing magic against somebody that it wasn't working on. And that could be why she got cancer as well. Not only from her negative thoughts, but because she kept doing magic on somebody who could have possibly been walking in divine energy. If she was doing it to me, then for sure. Ugh. Ugh. She says, I need you to get excited again. I need you to remember you're not in this thing alone. I'm working on your challenges. I've already assigned angels to you, so let go and so let go and the stress. Let go of the stress and just trust me. I've got a pretty incredible ending in store. In fact, that's why you need to get excited again, because the happy ending I've got coming is going to rock your world. Roze is somebody who may have messed with magic since a very young age, and she could have always wondered why nothing works out for her. She could have always wondered why things are always so dramatic, why she walks in toxicity, why she can't be creative, why she's not motivated, why she's not abundant. She could have wondered these things. And it's because of the magic. Okay, when you do magic, like I said, the energy has to come from somewhere. And so when you take an action to manipulate energy to receive something, whatever it is you desire, whether it's money or whatever, um, what you're doing, the energy just doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from within you. It comes from your own energy field. It's a exchange. And so what magic is looking outside of yourself to get what you desire. And Spirit says that that is the trick. That's the trick. When you fall for the temptation of using magic to get what you desire, whether it's love, money, abundance, or to take people down so they're not happy, Spirit said unlock. I'm unlocking a secret right now. What you're doing is you're essentially telling the universe that you don't have that. It's a trick, it's a test. It's God created magic to test people. And so take the bait, when you take the bait, take the fruit of the temptation of magic or energy manipulation or spell work or brujeria, whatever you want to call it, it's a test of your soul. And when you want to manipulate energy, it doesn't just come out of thin air. It takes a little piece of you, and it makes your soul fragmented, and it disperses it out, and that's what makes you an energy vampire. When you become, when you give your energy away to receive something you desire, you are telling the universe you don't have it, and you're trying to manipulate energy to manifest something. And that's not manifestation, that's manipulation. There's a difference. Manifestation comes from the heart space, it comes from an inner knowing that everything will work out for you, and whatever's meant for you you will have. When you say, I'm going to do a money spell to receive money, you're saying, I don't have money, and I will not get money unless I do this. And you exchange a piece of your energy for that energy, and it comes from somewhere, and it takes from you. And so you become empty, you become a shell, and you become susceptible to low vibrational entities that will control your thoughts, that will give you intrusive thoughts, that will make you react in very toxic ways, that will make you do very. Spirit said 15. Like I said, she got pregnant at 14, 15. So this could be something that she did at a very young age. Maybe she did a love spell to get her baby daddy, And so from 15 to now, she just literally passed away this weekend. She's been doing magic, and she's been doing it not knowing about energy. And so she's taken so many pieces of herself and fragmented them that it gives you no vital force. It makes you not creative. It makes you in a lack mentality. It makes you bored. It makes you have addictions. It makes you ungrounded because you are giving your energy away. And she wants us to know. Spirit just said away right when I said away. She wants she wants me to share this with you because she doesn't want everybody to rely on magic as a way to get what you want. It's not a way, and it just takes from you, and it hurts people. It hurts yourself, and you can get the pieces of your soul back, but it was too late for her. Her obsession and her addiction to all the things that kept her fragmented ultimately affected her field to a point where she was at dis-ease, where she attained stage 4 brain cancer and died within less than a year. That vibrant, smiley, sexy, vulnerable angel that I saw in my mind was completely devastated in less than a year and looked like what her field looks like. She literally, when the last picture I saw of her on her deathbed, she looked like what her field looks like. And it wasn't the best version of her. Someone is following you. How can we heal it? How can we heal it? Spirit, how can we heal it? Oh, how can we heal it? Thank you so much, Rose, for being with us, Roze. One of the some of the best memories I had with her is when we would watch music videos together, and we'd be like, it was like in the early 2000s, so it was like spirits and narcotic, yeah, we'd get high together on weed. We smoke a lot of weed. Spirit says root chakra. It's so important to ground yourself in these times and just in general. To the frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in bodies as well in the physical world. Spirit said greed. She acted the way she did a lot of the times because she wasn't grounded. She didn't feel secure. So it made greed fester inside of her. Greed, lust, envy. And so she was always trying to hustle. She was always trying to be a boss. She was always trying to get the money, get the bag, grind, be on the grind. And she did it by any means necessary. And so because of that, it put her in this energy of that she didn't want to get a 9 to 5 job. She had to be able to get easy money because she always was in that mentality, okay? Assertiveness. There's a difference between assertive and being dominant. When you assert dominance, it can be detrimental to you because then you are forcing things to happen that aren't meant to happen. You're forcing people into situations they're not meant to be in. You're trying to control outcomes that aren't meant for you. And so being assertive isn't always boss behavior. I'd say that being passive and being observant is more of a boss behavior because you let people do as they will and then you can react accordingly. But if you're trying to control the outcome of everything, then you're going to get yourself into trouble, and that's what she did through magic because she's been doing it at such a young age, and she's wondering why nothing ever works out for her, why she can't find love, why she can't be creative, why she can't have motivation, why she's still doing the same thing she did when she was 20 years old is because of magic. Okay? Gabriel. Release and surrender. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and hearts to our love and assistance. Oh, I love you. Roze, I love you so much. I do. I am so grateful for you to be here. She's in her life review and she's releasing and surrendering everything she wished she could have in this vessel. But that's life, you guys. This is the human experience. We're all learning as we go. And I hope that these readings help you understand from a higher perspective why people do the things they do. Roze, thank you so much for being with me. I miss you. I'll always miss you. That song just popped in my head from that movie. What was that movie? Though I'm missing you, although I'll find a way to get through. Oh my gosh, us watching Waiting to Exhale videos. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. I hope this helped you guys. Please don't do magic. It is not worth it. Do not do magic. It's not worth it. I'll find a way to get through living without you. 'Cause you are my sister, my strength, and my pride. Okay, I'll stop singing now. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.